Anti-Afro-Spengalis, this is a very important update and continuing to report victories, how our actions, and I'm saying our as in decent people, continue to compel and drive the nefarious, the evil, the treacherous into the legal arena. We even have those who operate within the nefarious element filing their claims with various government entities, whether it's against an employee, whether it's against a licensing board, whether it's in any court. We have the demonic elements also availing themselves to the legal system. But let me be clear. All lawsuits, actions, and claims filed are not created equal. And one thing the demonic elements fail to realize, they are not going to be able to skate with lies. I'm going to demonstrate that to you right here and now. Watch them scramble and run when the heat comes on. It's all good for them to say and do whatever they want when it comes to somebody else. But once a defense is launched, look out below. They never remember the things that they said. They never recall that their positions are contradicting to each other. And it comes down to credibility. Stay tuned and I will return.
I know how I do. I don't deal in rumors and lies. If I come out in public, I have a person giving a first-hand account, like the three accusers of Larry Reid, or I got a police report or something like that. I just I don't come out with innuendos and allegations that can't be substantiated. There have been people that have accused Larry Reid offline that refused to come forward because they saw how the three accusers that came forward were treated. But I'm going to say this to them, not all of them, just one or two. And so they won't think I'm talking about all of them. I don't know as a matter of fact or not. I've never said that Larry Reid did this. I say he's been accused. Three people came forward. The rest of you talked to me offline. But I'm going to say this. And people are telling me I shouldn't even consider mediation with Larry Reid. If the people will not come forward, why do I have to stand down on the battlefield? If he did what you said he did, and you failed to stand up to him and get justice, then you got to live with that. And that blood is on your hands, because I came out here to help you put a stop to him, and you refuse to step up. And in my book, that makes you a coward. And in my book, that makes you a coward. And in my book, that makes you a coward.
Really? Coward. So these statements were made during the active court case. Look here on the screen, you will see the timeline, and this relates to Larry Reid suing Daryl Moore. This is abbreviated timeline. The situation ended up in enforceable mediation agreement, court enforceable mediation agreement. At that time, Demon Moore was feeling the heat because he tried to include the canned accusers in the case and he was denied. So now, present day, he saw another opportunity to put forth these allegations again. But that's contradicting what you just heard him say now. Now, as in back then on this audio. But he's reassuming the position that Larry Reid is guilty. And he's using an individual who Larry Reid had a conflict with, that you all may have heard of. I'm not going to use this person's religious title. His last name is Whitehead. I don't remember his first name. He's all over the place acting the fool. And he used Demon Moore so he could put up information about Larry Reid again. But he wouldn't big up Demon Moore. He just used the information and kicked him to the curb. It's just like what Demon Moore did to Let Me See Your Handcuffs when he was trying to get her to spread these rumors about Larry Reid. What am I saying? Trying to get her. He put her up to it and she obliged. Get them niggas. Remember that, people? Get them niggas. And she was referring to Demon Moore driving by Larry Reid's home, or basically in any instance when they brought more information to the demonized platform accusing Larry Reid of this and that, never imagining he was going to take legal action. It just so happens that Let Me See Your Handcuffs also got a cease and desist letter from Larry Reid. So this much you do know. If you get a cease and desist letter from counsel representing Larry Reid, that's pretty much a guarantee you're going to get sued if you don't stop. We've seen these other people going online and getting these assembly line cease and desist letters, and they contain a bunch of lies saying that you should stop speaking the truth. Bona fide truth, proven truth. That's very different from spreading rumors and claiming that they're facts. And those rumors qualify potentially as slander. Of course, we will not know if something is considered slander until there is a court ruling. And in this instance, there was a mediation and the outcome. But prior to that, the court refused to dismiss the case against Demon Moore that Larry Reid had fired. One thing you have to keep in mind: when the truth arrives on the scene, you see the demons scramble. And this whitehead dude who was putting all this crap up on his page, interviewing this accuser, now that Larry Reid filed a lawsuit, that whitehead dude who runs around pretending that he's a religious leader, he took down all those videos. Why did you take down those videos? See, Demon Moore thought he found somebody that could help him get the word out, continue spreading the lies. And this, again, is a walk down that thorny path with all kinds of landmines. I want to make sure you know what Demon Moore really said about these canned accusers when the court case was active. Take a look at this and retain what you just heard. And this is taken straight from the court documents. Demon Moore tried to get the lawsuit that Larry Reid filed dismissed. That was the original plan. So I'm going to read to you what the judge's ruling was. And I want you to pay attention as to the reasons why Demon Moore tried to get this lawsuit dismissed and his counterclaim put on the block so he can try to recover from Larry Reid. For what reason? Well, just look at this. Defendant Daryl Moore moves under Federal Rule of Civil Procedure 19 to dismiss the complaint for failure to join 3 unnamed parties. This is what Demon Moore was just talking about. The canned accusers, he tried to force them into this federal case, trying to claim he's not at fault because I'm not the one who actually came up with the information. I just hosted on my platform. He tried to get these 3 canned accusers into this lawsuit, and he was denied. So Demon Moore is talking about why he feels this case should be dismissed. That's one of the reasons. You can't leave me out here holding the bag. You just heard him, right? You need to come in here and repeat what we planned for you to say, which it certainly appears. Because who would do something like this for free? Who would do something for free like this? We've seen this in our own space where you have these dudes coming on, claiming they had sex with other men who were in the space who had a more respectable position. Does this sound familiar? I think so. So plaintiff opposes the motion. He wants this case dismissed. For the following reasons, the court denies the motion to dismiss. And here are the reasons that the court gave for shooting down Demon Moore. First, to go into the background, and this is where you find out basically what Demon Moore was being sued for. Demon Moore wants to move forward. What he said and did about Larry Reid, that Larry Reid just was not going to put up with. So it says, background, plaintiff Reid sued defendant Moore for defamation, false light invasion of privacy, public disclosure of private facts, and deceptive trade practices. Plaintiff alleges that defendant posted numerous YouTube videos accusing him of various crimes. Among many other allegations, plaintiff Reid alleges that defendant Moore posted a video featuring guests who accused plaintiff of sexual assault. Defendant admits to posting the videos about plaintiff, but asserts that he shared his views as opinions rather than facts. Number 6, defendant also asserts truth as a defense. Well, what did we just hear a second ago?
I don't know as a matter of fact or not. I've never said that Larry Reid did this. I say he's been accused.
But right now he's saying don't dismiss this case because allegations are in fact true. You see, when the heat comes on, liars don't remember what they say and do. Number 7, defendant Moore moved to dismiss the complaint for failure to join an indispensable party. 8, Moore argues that the lawsuit cannot proceed without joining the supposed abuse victims who appeared in some of the videos. You can't dismiss this case, Judge. You need to bring these other people in who just simply came and told me about this. It's not my fault. Not going to work. And of course, the judge failed to dismiss the case and it moved to mediation eventually. Both parties are not to make references to each other, record any videos. It's not just on Larry Reid. Larry Reid didn't do anything to Demon Moore. He defended himself, but Demon Moore was the one that was making up all of these claims and wanting people to believe that all the people in the world, out of all the people on YouTube, these 3 canned accusers would find their way onto Demon Moore's platform. Just was not credible, people. It never was credible. So we're left with the question, what is the reason that he's calling these canned accusers cowards if they're supposed to be his allies, if they brought him truth? They gave him the information he needed that he thought he would be able to utilize to continue to keep this platform going and essentially create Larry Reid's guilty sector. He didn't think in his wildest of nightmares, and there's no way anyone ever convinced me of this, because our nature in general as Black folks is not to take people to court. When we compare ourselves to white folks, they'll go to court in a second. It never occurred to Demon Moore and his flunkies, let me see your handcuffs as one of them, that Larry Reid would actually sue him. He just thought he can draw this out and say what I want to say. And even through this whole process, Demon Moore violated court orders. He didn't think Larry Reid would do anything about that. Wrong. Larry Reid went back to court when Demon Moore violated the mediation. We've seen how Demon Moore was seeking out all these people, trying to help him push these rumors about Larry Reid. He engaged Dempsey D. Durrell, Dempsey Spears. Larry Reid sent Dempsey a cease and desist letter because Dempsey talked about it. So he was able to address that. So Demon Moore couldn't use Dempsey anymore. So he ends up finding who? He finds this dude who claims to be this religious figure and having church in squalor while he's living high on the hog. So he thought he would use him to continue this. And this is blown up. Now, the individual who absolutely refused to come forward in the federal case now has been drawn out, smoked out, and Larry Reid is now taking him to court. And I applaud the move. If you're going to get up here and make these claims, these reputation slandering claims, these character attacking claims to people. I mean, what worse is there? Someone who takes sexual advantage of other people. sexual exploitation. And they know this. And this repression that these other freaks have when it comes to sexual issues, they're always focusing on the male to male gay sex acts, or they're focusing on lesbians, or calling everybody lesbians and dykes and all this kind of stuff. They're doing it without any information whatsoever. They're doing it in order to launch unprovoked attacks on people. And they never banked on the fact that this is a person who was going to go to court and go full force. Let me see your handcuffs. Never imagined this would happen. And I got more videos on her coming. She was all in this, trying to encourage me to post videos on Larry. I'm not going to just jump up and start posting videos on people. Send me some information. You're saying somebody claims that they were molested. Well, give me the facts. Is there a police report? Is there investigation? And by the way, I don't go by initial police reports. I would never do a video based on an initial police report. I would need to have an investigation and possibly some credible evidence that this was filed or going to be filed. If you take it upon yourselves to say that somebody is whatever they are, something that's slanderous. Yeah, let me see your handcuffs. She calls me a murdering drug cartel leader and thinks I can't say anything about her. At any rate, if you are going to heap these slanderous statements upon people, be prepared to face legal consequences. More and more people are undertaking this process. Again, I applaud it. But these freaks, the against the law team, they never thought Larry Reid would take them to court. They don't know what to do at this point. They can't keep their story straight. One thing that they did do, they booted Let Me See Your Handcuffs because she's no longer able to engage in the flunky behavior that is illegal because it's calling attention to them. And plus, she proved to be a backstabber like she has always been. People, this is just the beginning. We're going to keep up on this case because it has to do with somebody taking a stand against what they are adamant is false allegations. If Demon Moore felt so strongly in what he claims, well, what is it that he claims at this point? Because he said two different things. He's only claiming this for publicity's sake. But if he really believed it, why go through mediation? Why agree to that? He's putting somebody else in that responsible position. Well, there are some people that say, I shouldn't be doing mediation. Well, you should be listening to your attorney. Oh, I don't want to go there about Demon Moore's lawyer. I'm not even going to comment on that. But why the heck would you listen to random people when you have counsel, for what it's worth? So listen, I hope this clarifies things. Be on the lookout. Hopefully people will be covering this lawsuit. I am going to cover it because it's an example to show to others. You put yourself at risk when you join on the bandwagon and start spreading rumors about people that there is absolutely no proof of. It is not covered by free speech. You don't have an absolute right to free speech. What we're seeing now here is the Darrell Brooks syndrome, and I will go into that later. But in the meantime, I will be sure to keep you updated. Never forget to heed the warning. Buyer, beware.